listener. Here we are. What a year it's been. Already the second month of the year. You're probably going, what? You're probably like, no way. I was just drinking celebration juice at midnight. There's no freaking way we're in the second month, but we are. And now I'm concerned I said seventh month earlier, but I hope I didn't. Then you'd really be freaking out, you know? But it is the second month. It's February. Of course, I don't say the year. I did win last year. I went all of, gotta be very careful here, 2022 without saying 2022 out loud for an entire year. No out loud numerical reference to the year. And I did it as far as I know. Now, there was one year. I forget which one. There have been a lot of them in my life. Yeah, there have been a lot of years. I'm freaking bones over here. I'm freaking old as dirt. A wrinkled freaking baseball glove in the corner. So, but there was a year where I said it on video. Somebody else was doing a video. I was in it. I said the year. Didn't know I did it. And luckily a friend called, I believe it was Dylan. So it wasn't a friend, as you know, not my friend. I believe he was the one that caught it. And I do say luckily, people will ask me, they'll say, Matt, couldn't you just not tell anyone that you said the year? But I'm the only one. No, why would I do that? This is a game I invented and I only play with myself. Do not edit that out. Me going, I only play with myself, and make it sound like I'm talking about masturbating. Please don't do that. I would never talk about masturbation. You guys know that about me. It's not a subject that I like to talk about. In fact, don't even like to look at my penis when I urinate. Now, I was glad that Dylan caught that, in another world. Maybe that would have put him over the line to be my friend, but he stabbed me in the back a few too many times. Who knows? Maybe we'll work on it this year. Now, as you can probably tell, my potential co-hosts are not here. It's just me. They took the day off, or not off. It's not their job. It will be one of their jobs to be here, but we're still just figuring it out, working on it, working through the steps. It's so crazy because one day I'll be like, it's definitely Courtney. And then the next day, even just the next day, I'll think, well, I can't do a podcast with Courtney because the guest will be answering a question and then they'll get done. And me and Courtney are checking on each other's uvulas with our tongues, French kissing, deep French kissing, clacking teeth. We're getting so wild. And which is not to say that a similar thing couldn't happen with Dylan. Certainly we wouldn't French kiss, but it could just be that we get to talking about a band or something, we get going like, dude, isn't it cool when they're way up the neck on a guitar? One of my favorite guitar things is to be way up on the neck. So, it goes back and forth. I think I'm getting closer. I'm definitely getting closer, but I think I'm getting to a choice. And then, nope, turns out not. I have no idea who I'm going to pick. I feel like I lost the thread. What was I saying? That it's the second month and it feels crazy that it's the second month? Can you believe it? Can you believe we're already in the second month? People will say, "Oh my gosh!" They post a picture of their kid. I can't believe Sarah's 7, and I don't believe them. I think they can absolutely believe it. They would go, "Well, if she was born in, she would be 7." So quit lying. Moms and dads, quit lying. All right. Tell your kid Santa Claus is a fun game we play. He's not real. You watch a movie, and if they watch a movie with Santa Claus, they should understand that because, It doesn't make any sense. How would the presents, the adults, well, you know that. You know what? This is a dumb, played out thing. People talking about how Santa Claus doesn't make any sense in movies because the parents don't believe in Santa Claus, but the presents still show up. So who do they think the presents come from? And it's magic, right? So they think they bought it. Maybe Santa steals their credit card and goes and buys it and casts a spell, makes them think they bought it. You know, maybe Santa Claus is something of a witch, casting spells, making people think that they spent the money, he's spending the money. I don't know. You know, they talk about elves making the presents, but I don't think elves are making PlayStation 14s or whatever. We're on iPhone 100, you know what I mean? Is a thing people like to joke about. But then I don't, but like, don't you want them to iterate and make new versions? Look, I understand there's the problem of planned obsolescence is irritating, but you think we should just stop? You think we should just iPhone 1 and then that's it? You think this is some funny joke? My phone now can do a lot more than the first iPhone. First iPhone didn't have an app store. Okay? I want to download a game where you pull the pin out, the water falls on the lava, but the lava might fall on the gold, but then the princess, you know, gets burned or whatever, and then you go download the game. It's not that. But we'll get there. I believe that if we continue to innovate and make new iPhones, we'll eventually will have the game in the ad where perhaps a woman's, you got to pick what to use to shave her legs, and she's like, they do a lot of weird, there's a lot of weird iPhone game ads is what I'm getting at, and typically the game is not what that ad says. And if we stop making new iPhones, we'll never get there. Now today, I had said, because you know you get busy. We're making a new record. Me and Dylan making a new Matt F. Basler record. We're making the new middle class fashion record. And I say record, I don't really know what we're doing. We're recording songs in this day and age. You know, you just you put songs out. People like to talk about it as if. I think it's funny to hear people say like, well, you know, it's all singles now, or it's all this or that. It's whatever you freaking want, man. Just keep making tunes. Who gives a rat's? Pump them out. Don't put them all out at once. Make the tunes, baby. I don't know anything about anything. But I know we are recording songs, and we're you know, shows are kind of picking up again, and doing all kinds of stuff. Trying to get video for this thing figured out. This podcast, I would like a video element, and working on some animation. You can go see it if you want. There's one on the Instagram. There's a few, but the latest one I did with old. I shouldn't. That's rude. I just talk like that. I say old, but Libby and Tina are not what I would call old. We'll call them medium. With medium Libby and Tina, Slop City, I made a fun little animation. I started putting them up on YouTube. You can go watch the things. Matt F. Basler's podcast is on YouTube now. Different than just Matt F. Basler, which I have too. I'm starting to make more videos and stuff, you know. So today, no potential co-hosts. A lot going on. I thought maybe it'd be fun to just do a Q&A episode. You know, talked about putting it on the Patreon, and I said, you know what? Let's just give people the freaking day to relax. You know, Courtney and Dylan, and I'll handle this. We'll put it on the main freaking feed. We'll do something else fun on the Patreon. Put up some demos for these songs we're recording or something. The Patreon is I love it. I love Just a Boys Record Club. I think right now we're listening to Ted Lucas. Solo or self-titled. I say I think because we're ahead one album from the one that's coming out. I know what we're actually listening to now, but I can't reveal it because it's a secret. But check out the Patreon, patreon.com/MattFBasler. It's a good, fun time. Now, today we're doing a Q&A. I asked on the socials, /MattFBasler, what are some questions you have for me? And this is where I learned that people don't have a lot of questions for me. There's not a whole lot that people are interested in knowing about me, which came as, perhaps I was climbing up the pedestal. I don't think I had myself on a pedestal, but maybe I saw the pedestal and I went, what if I get up there? And, I'm kind of like shimmying my way up. Got my torso up there, ass hanging off. And this was a good way to give me a little shove, a little push off of that pedestal that nobody really gives a rat's about me or what I'm doing. Or perhaps maybe I'm too open. Maybe everything's answered. People are just like, oh, hey, man, we don't, there's nothing we need to know. You're an open book. But I did get a few, and of course I appreciate the ones I got, and you're always free to message me anywhere. Email me, mattfbasler@gmail.com, freaking all the socials /mattfbasler, send me a message or whatever. So here's just some of the questions I got. This is it's either from Hassan Kashik, or it's from Julie Popular. I'm not sure. It's a little hard to... Oh, I guess Hassan's official account is Julie Popular. And they say, hi, Matt F. Basler. Are you interested in growing your Instagram? Do you need followers, likes, or views? Yeah, I mean, I guess. that sounds great. I like to get my stuff out to more people. So if Julie, if you can do that for me, that sounds really cool. Wow. Okay, it's 1,000 followers is $10. I don't know how that works exactly, but they also provide YouTube services. So that's cool. I mean, hey. You've heard people say, like, Danger is my middle name. Popular is her last name. So that seems even more important. Middle names you don't even see a lot of the time. For example, Matt F. Basler. My middle name isn't F. I'm not even showing you the helix that's in there. So I guess I will do this. I guess, Julie, I thank you so much. And I'll have to do the math on which one's the best deal. It's impossible here to figure out. 1,000 is $10, 20,000 is $150. So, gosh, you got to get a degree at math school to figure it out. But I think 20,000 for 150 seems like a great deal. So thank you. I'll probably do that. This is a question from New Rock Stars. Dylan here. Oh, hey. Dylan here from New Rockstar, an artist awards platform that promotes emerging artists. Holy cow. Quick question. Is Matt F. Basler still making music? Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Thank you. What's the square? This is some Instagram. What's the square root of an isosceles triangle? I don't know. What do you mean? What? Come on. And then somebody else asked the square root of 5,674. But I think that's a trick question, right? Because roots aren't square. They zigzag all over, like on a tree. I know they're not talking about a tree. I'm being funny and fun on this podcast. It's supposed to be fun and funny. All right? And as you can imagine, these questions are pissing me off. This was supposed to be a deep episode. This was supposed to be where I'm going like, I wanted to say every question. I want to go, wow, that's a good question. Gosh, I got to think about that. That's what I wanted. And what I'm getting is people saying, do are you what so anything wants? Oh, very cute, very funny. Make me look like an idiot on the podcast. Do not, and don't say, oh, somebody made you look like an idiot on the podcast, but I don't think it was them. Implying that I'm making myself look stupid. Don't do that, okay? I don't know how people do this. People do podcasts by themselves. I've never done that. One time I did it. We read Grinch fan fiction. I read it. Just me. I guess me and you read it. I read it to you. And it was one of the least played episodes of all time. Nobody liked it. I don't know if it was because it was just me or because I was reading a lot of Grinch erotic fan fiction. But of course I had written and tried to pass off as if someone else did. I was hoping that people would say, oh, wow, that story by Kathy Everly was really good. And then I would reveal it was me. And I would launch my Grinch. Well, it didn't have to just be Grinch erotic fan fiction. I'd write it for anything. Sonic. Pregnant Sonic is a very popular genre, and I was ready to dive in. I've always wanted to, if you remember Tiny Toons, I wanted to do 20 Toons, where Buster and Babs, Plucky are in their 20s, early 20s, and they're horny as hell. That's always been a dream of mine. And they are hooking up with their teachers. Bugs and Daffy are well into their 70s at this point in the story. I know they're older than that in real life. But you imagine, what were they? I don't know. At Acme University, I don't know exactly what age they were when they went in there, but they were very short. So I would imagine, let's say they're 10, maybe. So you think this would be like 10 years later. Maybe they wouldn't be in their 70s. Some of them would definitely be in their 70s, maybe more in their 60s. But the point remains, they are having sex with their teachers, and we would get into the taboo of that. And but it didn't go over well when I tried to do the Grinch fan fiction. So you give up on a dream sometimes. What can you do? Let's see. Oh, what's your dick like, homie? What are you into? Great question. This is what I was looking for, okay? An honest question that makes me go, oh, wow, I never thought about that. Now, as you guys know, I certainly don't like to look at my penis, but I have seen it. Now, to look at it, I can't look, so I get the camera app ready, get the slug out, and then try to get a pic. And so a lot of them aren't. It would be like of the floor or something. Well, shoot, got to take that again. But what's my dick like? I think I would say pretty average. If you were gonna draw a cartoon of it, you could pretty much just draw a cartoon dick. I don't think you'd have to we got to make this one Matt's by putting that weird thing on it, or even distinctive thing. And that, I think, fits my aesthetic. I try to just usually look like a guy, sort of a background character in a Grand Theft Auto game or a movie, not really calling attention to myself until I'm on that stage. You know what I mean? It's like you get on that stage and I want people to be going, that's Matt, that's that guy, that's that regular penised man up there being crazy. Yeah, that's what I hope people say. And I don't know if they do, but I sure hope they do. I do think I have a freckle. I guess I can check. I mean, you guys can't. It's not like I'm filming this. I'll take a look. Yeah, a little freckle on the tip. I don't want to talk about this anymore, but it is true, and I was asked that question. And what am I into? Gosh, horror movies. But I think it means sexually, I assume. I really like orgasms, ejaculating. I think that's one of the best parts. Like for me, that's one of the best parts. But all the parts are good. Hands, feet, forearm, shoulders, all those parts, every body part can be attractive, and I challenge you to find a body part that's not attractive, can't be attractive, that you couldn't, put a little lipstick on an ear. Oh baby, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Put a bracelet on a scapula. Yummy. Come to daddy is what I'd be saying to a scapula with like a bracelet kind of hanging off of it. It would have to be a very pronounced scapula. That's what those things are called, right? The little wings on your back. But yeah, just a little gold little dangling off of there, I think would really get me excited. And all body types. You could put a bracelet on. So that's where I'm at with that. Now I did download this. As I said, I wasn't really getting a lot of questions, which broke my spirit. So, and I thought, well, maybe the problem is these people are too embarrassed to ask their question. They think, oh, if Matt knows that, why do you, why is it called Anything Can Be a Song? And like, they'll think, oh, if I'm a true fan, I should know that. So there's this new NGL app where you can ask questions anonymously, which is apparently not true because you can pay $6.99 a week to find out who sent them. But I downloaded this. I thought maybe that'll heat things up. People will ask their questions or just advice for me. Maybe they think I know about, my, maybe something like my boyfriend sucks his socks before he goes to bed. He takes his sock off, puts it in his mouth, sucks his sock for 15, 20 minutes before we go to bed. Is that normal? And I think I could give good advice. I think I would go, no, I don't think that's normal, but I don't think it's a deal breaker. Now, I downloaded this thing, this NGL. I get a question. Are you a backseat driver? No, I don't think so. I don't think I am. I don't like everyone's driving, but I'm go with the flow, Have you ever had surgery? No, I have not. I hope I don't have to. I don't want surgery. Certainly feel bad for anyone who has to do it. Wow, these are cool. Who was your last snap from? I do have Snapchat, but I only snap Dylan and Courtney, actually. Me and old C-Dirt, we have a 2,059-day streak. So almost certainly it was from Courtney. Could have been from Dylan. Now, and then I look at I'm looking at these. I look at the bottom. Sent with love from the NGL team. These are not real people. I'm not getting any questions from real people. Nobody wants to know anything about me. Or nobody thinks that I have the authority or the perspective or the sharpened mind to give advice on anything. Oh, who's your favorite brand? I thought it said band. What's your favorite brand? What are you talking about? For what? Of cereal? Of electronic device? It's not even a good canned question. I got one real response that says, love the nipple pics, keep them coming. Not a question. Not a question. No question. Of course you love my nipple pics. Speaking of, I did ask people to ask me questions on TikTok where I do a lot of nipple content. And the video was, I pull my nipple off, I drop it, it forms the words, ask me a question. I did get a couple there. What makes you do this? Like, what started you doing this shtick? Also, what is the background of your vids, where you live or work? I'll be honest. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I started doing it. Me and Courtney, my lover, along with our friend Elena, we're talking about TikTok. It was still new. We hadn't tried it. And we said we should give it we should look at it. We should see what it is. And we saw a couple videos. Then I think we watched a YouTube compilation of country boy TikToks. And the song they used very often was Brantley Gilbert's "Read Me My Rights." And we're laughing. We're cracking up. I think the thing that we found to be very funny was that most of these videos were someone trying to be a very tough-looking dude, you know. Got their skull in their pocket. They're looking hard as hell. But then you think about right before that, how they had to set their camera up, get it just right, hit the timer, run back, get in place, start looking tough. And that's funny. So I did one. I was wearing a little cardigan. You've probably seen me. You know that I'm not exactly what you would call an imposing figure. Just kind of a guy, kind of a background NPC character in Grand Theft Auto. You don't see those guys in Grand Theft Auto and go, wow, that guy looks crazy. You say that guy looks, you don't say anything. You're driving too fast. It's just, you're just supposed to blend into the background. So I did one, and you know how kind of the way TikTok works. You get a lot of views, and it feels good, and that's the thing about that. And so, for whatever reason, I decided to use the song "Read Me My Rights" again for my second video, and then my third and my fourth. At this time, it was just me dancing around, kicking around to Brantley Gilbert's song. And I do a lot of work in After Effects. I've made music videos. I do other things with After Effects. And I decided one day I want to get better at motion tracking. I don't do a lot of, at the time, motion tracking. And I think to myself, well, what could I track? What could I do? And then I realized there's two tracking points on your body at all times. It's your nipples. And so I decided I'll either make my nipples very large or make my nipples fall off, or I'll flick them off and I'll catch them in my mouth. Actually, I had one video where I did do that, and it got taken down for gore, I guess, because I put, when the nipples came off, I used an image of hamburger as like the place underneath, you know, and they said that was too gross. No, thank you. And they took it down. So I just wanted to get better at motion tracking, and so I used my nipples, and I continued to use my nipples. It's a fun thing, and again, I think there's an interesting thing about male nipples. Society-wise, they're completely fine, right? You can walk around without a shirt, and a lot of places, maybe not all places, but a lot of places, a man can walk around with no shirt. Nobody cares. It's fine. Who gives a rat's? I've said that, I think, 3 or 4 times this episode. But anything that you do to call attention to the nipples, now everyone's disgusted. If I feel like even if you just were to touch your nipple, people would be like, whoa, what's going on here? This is weird. If your nipple slides down your body, people are barfing, puking. If you squeeze your nipple, another nipple comes out, and then you place that on your chest, everyone's disgusted. And that, I think, is an interesting thing that I don't fully understand. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's similar to, you can shake someone's hand or put your hand on their hand, but if they clip a fingernail off and give it to you, that's disgusting. Maybe it's like that. But again, even just, well, you make them kind of bigger, and people making a lot of puke messages in your comments. Actually just made another fairly straightforward video where I'm dancing to old Brantley's song. Now, I started doing covers of the song because there was a period of time where it was taken off the app. Brantley's song was taken off the app. All of my videos were taken down too. And then I started doing covers in different styles. But made one where it's just big nipples. It's kind of funny, I think. Larger certainly than any real person's would be. And yeah, man, it's an interesting thing how rude people are. They seem to think it's real. You can kind of tell from the comments who thinks it's real and who doesn't. But let's see, did this person ask a question? Oh, did anyone ever call the law? The first lyric of the song, somebody better call the law. I don't think so. I don't think they have. Someone asked when their podcast episode is. Whenever you want. I thought there was why? Someone asked why. For you. Did it for you. Who else, man? So, that's that. I don't know if I got anything else. Like I said, nobody cares to know. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's the case. I think everybody's very interested in me. Or I'm sorry, that's not what I mean. Not very interested in me. I think everybody's appropriately interested in me. I guess I'm saying I'm not hurt over here. I'm not crying my freaking eyes out because I didn't get enough questions. Perhaps I posed the request to get questions incorrectly. And by the way, and I'm saying, man, I can't, this is tough. How do people do a podcast by themselves? How do you feel that you're being interesting? Oh, Libby Higgins, medium Libby Higgins, medium of age Libby Higgins just started a podcast, solo podcast. Got the Slop City with Tina. She does some other ones too as well, but she started Storage, I think is the name of it. I'm gonna check. We're just chilling. I think you guys would be cool. This is kind of what Dylan would do. Dylan looks things up. He's good at it. I got mad at him one time. I said, "What are you doing on your phone?" He's like, "I'm looking things up. That's what I do." The egg on my face. Oh man, you could have made omelets for the whole town. It is called Storage. She does it from a storage locker. It's funny. It's a good premise, but she just sits there and talks to herself. Now, hold on. Episode 3, it looks like there's somebody on that one. But not on some of them, just her talking, and I don't see how she does. I feel like I'm rambling. I'm saying too many words. You're doing that thing where you're like, oh, I have to talk. I have to fill the space. I can't stop talking, or this isn't what it is anymore. If I stop talking, this isn't a podcast, so I have to keep going. I have to kind of do weird free association stuff, where you just keep going, like how Robin Williams did, and then you're going from one thing to the next about how maybe he was. It's interesting. It was the genie in Aladdin, and he said not to use his name in the promotion, but they did anyway. I think they ended up buying him a painting to say they were sorry, like a Picasso or something. And you think like, well, did Robin Williams want a Picasso? Why not just give him cash? Or maybe the deal is when you get so rich, you get to a point where cash can't do anything for you. Cash doesn't make you happy, but perhaps getting a Picasso is a little harder. Even rich people can't find a Picasso for sale and just go, gimme. I don't know. And now he's dead, he's gone, so where is that painting? I don't know. I'm going to type this in. Robin Williams, Disney painting. Let's see. Picasso. Giving a Picasso over Disney beef. Yeah, I was right about that. Everybody dies. I was thinking not that long ago. My beloved Penny, my dog, who I loved so much, I have her ashes. And there's a part of me that, of course, wants to keep them forever, wants to keep them displayed. But I have 2 dogs right now who are never going to die. But let's talk about a scenario where, worst case, they do die before me. And I hope not. I hope I'm long dead before these dogs are dead. But I'm going to have 3 sets of dog ashes, maybe more by then. And then what happens to them? What do you do with them? I mean, I display them, but I'm going to die eventually. And now somebody has 3 dog ashes they got to do something with. My mom and dad are going like, because this is happening pretty soon. They're going, well, we got all these dog ashes and a bag of mad ashes, and I guess Courtney ashes, because a broken heart, that'll kill her. Do they toss the dog ashes? Does this get passed on for millennia? Bag of ash? I don't even know what's in there. They told me it's my beloved penny. Old pencil. I can't be sure. So I don't know. What can you do? That's how you end up. You end up talking about dog ashes and dying because you started on free association, because it's hard to do a podcast about yourself and weird, especially when you burn through all your questions because nobody asked you any, which is fine. I'm not even mad about it. I think this is enough. Bye.
Fun and funny.